Hi guys, and welcome to Splittin Fares, a new series brought to you by Converse, where we highlight the talented individuals of our Converse All Star program. Our All Star program focuses on offering funding and opportunities for creatives all around the world. Today, we're picking up Lydia Tesema from Brunswick, who is one of those talented individuals. She's a podcaster, a conversationalist, among many other things, and she's going to show us around. So let's go.
Hi.
Hey sis.
How are you?
Whoa. Nice to see you, man. It's
too.
been a long ass time.
Missed you.
I know. How have you been?
I've been well, busy.
Girl.
As you can relate.
Yeah. No, life has been truly hectic.
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's gonna slow down, but I'm like, no. I'm just accepting that. We're in
just
that
allow
season.
it. Just allow it. Ride the wave of craziness.
Literally.
And hecticness. No, I love it. But yeah, where are we picking up from, sis?
You have picked me up from Brunswick Mechanic Institute because I've been commissioned to work with Next Wave, which is this organization for like 18 months. Basically in like a leadership, like a creative, like community curatorial leadership role for this thing called a Rising Tide. So we're going to be like
18 months.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's long.
It's dope.
That's good.
Yeah, we're going to be putting on like different events and helping run programs like over the next 18 months for young people in Melbourne. Let's go.
It's so good. It's so on brand for you too. That's so on brand.
You know me, I love this stuff.
Is this where you grew up around?
No, I didn't grow up in Brunswick.
Yeah.
I was born in Carlton.
Okay.
But then I actually grew up in a place called Carnegie/Caulfield, which is really random.
So random.
For an Ethiopian girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reason is because my parents, they migrated here from Kenya in 1991 after they met in Ethiopia. And at the time, like the government was putting, like I guess, refugees in, public housing across the state.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of public housing in Carnegie. Yeah, so we started in like a townhouse over there.
You settled there in the 90s?
Yeah,
Oh,
91.
wow.
Yeah, my parents got here in 91, which is crazy because I'm like, how they've been here for so long.
Yeah. And I'm sure you get a lot of people going like, Carnegie? Like,
literally, because everyone's like, are you from Footscray? Are you from the West?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
South side? Yeah.
Yeah, or deep southeast.
Yeah.
But no, I just feel like I'm a Melbourne girl, like a truly Melbourne girl, because
You
I've
really
got
are.
family in the West, I've got family in the deep southeast.
Yeah.
And then just for work and everything now, I
Born
drive
and
everywhere.
raised in Melbourne.
Bred in Melbourne.
You are the heart of Melbourne, bro. For real.
Yeah.
For real.
But yeah, so that was my beginnings. But then our house burnt down when we were 3 years old.
Plot twist, what?
Yeah, big plot twist. And then my parents were already familiar with the area, I guess. So we ended up moving into like Caulfield, which is like a predominantly Jewish area and Caucasian. So that's why it's a bit random because we're like the only African family.
The only Ethiopians in all of Carnegie
literally.
and Chadston area.
Literally, but it's been a vibe. It's been a vibe. It's close to the beach, St Kilda Beach. It's like 10k from the city. I can't complain really.
To slow it down a bit, just for the people who don't know you, because I obviously know you very, very well. Can you explain who Lydia Tesema is and what she does?
I love it. Well, Lydia Tesema she's an Ethiopian woman, but very much still proud and like represents that she's an Aussie girl as well.
Yes.
I'm 27 years old. I feel like I'm so many things. I don't like to put myself in a box. Yeah. But I know that like I'm a people lover. I'm a deep thinker, a deep feeler, and what I do is pretty much play to my skills. I think I got to a certain point in my life where I'm like you can literally build like whatever career you want, especially being so privileged that we live in a place like Australia. Yeah. So I kind of introduce myself as someone who works at like the intersection of media and community and government sometimes. But I really, at heart, like I'm an MC, I'm a host, I'm a conversationalist and a creative. And anything community related, especially youth related, that's also me because I work in a youth centre. I love my life, it's hectic,
It is.
but I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah.
You wear so many hats for different roles and different days. Like one day you're conversational, one day you're youth worker, one day you're like teaching. It's just, you're so right. It's so hard to put it into one paragraph. Who is Lydia Tesema? It's like resume on like paragraphs and paragraphs, but
Oh, you have to read my bio for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for real. You have to email her and get the full shebang.
Yeah. Or stalk me, I say.
Yeah.
My name is Lydia Tesema, I'm a host, some of this, but you can stalk me to find out.
Yes, sir.
You know?
And then for people who like want to get into being an MC and like wearing as many hats as you, like how did you get into this?
That's a good question, because I feel like everyone has really different entry points into this field.
Yeah.
And I think it can be quite an organic process, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
For me, I started with community radio. Like, I was a radio presenter at a community radio station that was built off the back of Brimbank City Council, which is based in the West, and it's a council I've worked with a lot and have supported me a lot in my journey. And I did that at a time where I wanted to start a podcast, but I wasn't quite confident on not so much the conversational side, but the tech side of things. And my older sister Solly, who you know, shout out Solly.
Shout out Solly.
she came across this youth program that was advertising that young people could come and develop their skills in certain areas. So I just pulled up and I was like, hi. They weren't even advertising for podcasters. It was more for musicians, dancers.
But you were like, by force.
Yeah, I was like,
by force.
Surely the music, the producers also have their grounds around how to edit a podcast, audio.
And stuff. Yep,
yeah, so I pulled up and I'm like, hey, I want to start a podcast. Can you please help me out?
Yay.
And then they're like, yeah, we can. So I did one session there, and then on the second day, Muhammad Issa, who's one of my friends, colleagues, and just someone that I really look up to, he pretty much picked me up. He's like, yo, I'm going to take you, because the council's doing this proper full-blown training for radio, and I feel like you'd be dope for it. So forget about this program, come with me type of thing. And I was like, oh wow, this is so exciting. Yeah. So then I ended up joining this pilot run for a radio station, after being trained by someone called Ralph Barber. You see, I don't forget names.
Yes, you remember the journey.
Yeah, I remember the journey. And Ralph is also one of my mentors. He owns a company called Making Media Australia, and he was the guy that trained us. And I feel like I learned so much and really developed in my craft from that point onwards, because radio craft is really interesting. You can't have radio silence. You have to be mindful of
so many things we don't know, the general public don't think about, that you have to know it.
True, when you're facilitating conversations. So it started from there, and then one thing literally led to the next. I started Below the Surface.
Yes.
I started doing live events. I joined other organizations and did bits and bobs, and I never really wanted to be fully attached to just one organization or one brand, because I see myself as a brand. So I'm just like,
you are Lydia Tesema is the brand.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go. Say it again.
It is a brand, and it allows that sort of flexibility, to move and groove according to what resonates with me, and to also give myself an opportunity to embrace different communities and causes. So
but I want to hear more about Below the Surface. You mentioned it. For everyone, what is Below the Surface to you and to everyone?
Below the Surface it's my baby. But imagine you have a baby and you just stop nurturing it at some point. That's actually wild. So
the neglect is crazy.
The neglect is crazy, and then you come back, you're like, I'm trying to be back in your life. So Below the Surface for me is pretty much I see it as a creative media agency that I'm trying to build, and I want it to have longevity. And I guess I've struggled to give my dive in completely, and I feel like I've seen value in building my brand as Lydia Tesema, and I feel like I've been able to do that quicker as a freelancer that just goes around and hosts and MCs and does these independent isolated jobs. Because ultimately with Below the Surface, what I'm trying to do is explore the world around me, but using different creative mediums, and I really want to use magazines, podcasting, and also events. So more to come with Below the Surface for sure.
I'm excited. And I want to know, so obviously we're here with Converse. I want to know how has Converse maybe helped you amplify Below the Surface, helped amplify Lydia Tesema, and what has your experience been with us?
Converse has been so interesting for me, because I literally, before this, I went into my my Instagram feed, and I scrolled down to that first event that we were invited
in February?
Yes, February 2020, I'll never forget.
You're wearing blue, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, see, I remember.
You're right.
I was like, I remember
those-
seeing you wearing blue and I was wearing orange, and I was like,
It was like this mesh
we
top
look the same
type
because
of
I was
thing.
wearing orange mesh.
Yeah.
I was like, hello.
And I remember like receiving, because when I got asked to be a part of this thing, I didn't really know what they were talking about. But I was like, look, I'll come to the event.
Yeah.
It was like,
don't deny, just like, okay, let's have a suss.
Because it was a foreign concept to me, like this idea of being a part of like such a program.
Yep.
And it was 2020 February, which means 3.5 years ago. It would have been like what, maybe like 23-ish.
And you were just getting into kind of your
I think I was younger, 22 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was just getting into stuff. Like at the time, I was really just expressing myself online, like through my fashion, my deep captions.
Bring them back.
Yeah.
Bring them back.
Oh, girl, they're still there. They're still there. And then, like, just, not doing so much in the industry, if that makes sense. But then I remember getting invited to this event, and I was like, let me check it out. It was at 8 a.m. I'll never forget. Started at 8 a.m.
We don't do 8 a.m., girl.
Yeah. I'm like, you're asking for a lot. 8 a.m. in Brunswick, I remember. And I remember being, like, welcomed with, like, shoes from Converse with, like, my Instagram handle engraved in it.
That was the coolest thing.
It was
I remember
cool.
thinking, this is so cool.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But then I remember like there being a few performances and like quite a networking thing, a swap shop.
Yep.
And then they also had like this layout on a table with like the major themes of what they're focusing on. I think it was like sport, sustainability, art, music. Or something like that.
Yep.
And they asked us to like list what we were interested in. And I'm like, okay. And I remember just like looking for one of the people who were working there and being like, what is this?
Yeah.
And how did you find me?
Yeah.
Because
help me.
Yeah. And they were like, you know, we have a team who scouts and actually goes online and looks for people, and they just look for, I guess they didn't have a huge criteria. It wasn't like they were looking for someone who had all these accolades, you know what I mean? Because I definitely didn't have them. But I was like, okay, I feel kind of special that you've seen something in me, because
some potential, something to nurture.
Yeah, because I had started that radio stuff like a few months before that, pretty much. And I was already in that space of having left my law degree, you know, recovering from my back injury. And I was still in that process, and just really wanting to dive deeply into this world of like creativity and this industry, but not necessarily knowing how. So this almost felt like
the sign,
like a God orchestrated thing.
Yeah.
So and then just I guess like connecting was like the main theme of my Converse All Stars like journey initially, and then a few events. I remember we were invited to do a few different things, and then eventually I realized that Converse knew us by name. Like they were, because I could see them in my stories. You can see who's seeing a story.
Yeah.
You know,
you can see who's watching.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, they're actually watching us.
Yeah, they actually care.
They actually cares. Yeah, and they invited me to host. I remember the Black History Month conversation on the Discord.
Yeah.
And that was with different Converse All Stars across Europe. So there was like Germany, the UK, France, and maybe like Italy as well. And that was so sick.
Yeah.
Like it was so sick, even though it was online, just to be given an opportunity to like
connect.
To connect.
All this, the diaspora, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because they were obviously, you know, Africans, and then to be able to facilitate that conversation was really, really dope. And that, I think I was able to leave a good impression in terms of like, you know, hosting and facilitating, because I got feedback, but then I also got invited like the following year to interview Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler, the creator.
Never heard of him.
I'm like, I still can't believe that happened.
I know.
And it all happened so quickly, because obviously we had to apply to be on that trip, and then got invited on that trip, and then I got invited onto a Zoom by Converse 4 days beforehand.
Yep.
And being like, oh, we have an extra thing that we want you to do, Lydia. I'm like, okay.
Did you have any idea of the magnitude of what
clue.
we were about to offer you?
No clue. Like, even the way they framed, I love Converse, they're so cheeky sometimes.
They're so cheeky.
The way they frame, like, when they want something to be a surprise or have a shock factor, they'll just, like, lure you in. Like, we want to have a meeting just to debrief about the Sydney upcoming trip. I'm like, okay. And then eventually they're like, oh, we want you to do this. And I kid you not, Aysha, was like...
Did your whole, like, stomach drop, heart,
everything
like,
dropped,
pounding?
because I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh, yes,
I'm like...
It's your first initial reaction, right? You were like...
Nah.
This is...
Tyler, the creator.
Yeah, this is bigger than me. This is... But it's not.
Well, it took a while, because I went through such a crazy thought process at that point, because I'm like, okay, this is high stakes. with Tyler the Creator, he's already such a charismatic, unpredictable character. And this, I'm at not a shaky place in my career, but I'm very much on the come up, and anything negative could really just, could affect me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also have the conviction that I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
So
why else would this opportunity come to you, like this door open for you?
True. If I'm actively pursuing this line of work,
Yep.
and I know that I can facilitate conversations, I'm just nervous in this moment because I'm thinking, damn, Tyler the Creator. So obviously I said yes. I had to say yes. And then like we proceeded to have the craziest week of our lives, didn't we? I really appreciated that opportunity because it really, I guess it, for one, so many people have seen that interview. So many people are aware that I've done that. So I'm kind of, at times I'd be known as a girl who interviewed Tyler, which is cute, it's cool. But more than that, it's like, it's really, it's really like improved my resume. Yeah. Like I feel like, I have it on my press kit. It's quite an impressive thing to have like achieved. And it's good because like we're also in an industry where we have to vouch for ourselves. Like I don't have a manager. I don't have someone that's in certain rooms pitching myself for me.
That you would be fit for.
Exactly. So obviously I'm going to leverage the fact that, I was able to do a Tyler interview, which was an incredible moment in itself. But then it's also about how that can catapult you into other things that you want to do, So it's a dream. And I think like Converse All Stars believing in me, when they had other options, they had an alternative that was safe. It was really, really a really heartwarming feeling for me. And then also just being supported on that. It wasn't like, oh yeah, go for it. It was very much like, we'll support you around the whole
like
experience.
We believe in you, like you got this, even sometimes before you've believed in yourself.
No, absolutely.
You're just like, I find often like opportunities they'll offer me, for example, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that, and they're like, no, but you can. I'm like, okay, I can.
See?
I'm like, okay, I can.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, if you see it, then I got to see it for myself.
True.
Then,
And there's been other opportunities. Like again, it's just opportunities to come together with other creatives and connect, because it's not only so much the work, I guess, that we're doing with like Converse directly, but it's the fact that they've brought us into this bubble to be able to network and connect with the different All Stars, and they've given me an opportunity to model. Like I've modeled for like their e-commerce website a number of times, and this is someone who's 169 centimeters. Like you have to be like 170,
80 up there, 73.
or 170 as like a girl to model. I remember as a young girl, I never thought I had the body shape to model, and I just definitely didn't have the height.
Ourselves out there being models,
exactly,
like people that look like us.
I was like, I love being in front of the camera, but I don't fit the criteria of being a model. But like, I guess in recent times with how the industry has changed, it's like, they've made room for people of different shapes and sizes, which I really appreciate. And I don't think Converse All Stars would have even been, like, even if it was like 5 years ago, I don't even think they would have been so pressed on those things that the industry is.
The criteria that check that everyone else looks for, perhaps.
Because you see they really value charisma and just vibrancy and authenticity more than anything. So, I can say I'm a model as well.
And that's the resume. Let's go.
And they also honor us for our time. Like, they pay us, and as a freelancer as well, it's like, I need money.
Help us.
We're broke. Help me, please.
We're broke.
Literally. I was joking with Noah about this. Shout out Noah. Yeah, because it's a hustle and a grind, this also comes with a sacrifice. Because I could be working full time, I could be working part time, but I like to be a freelancer because I want to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that come up, like often with short notice as well. And I think that's so that I can continue to build my brand, at a faster rate than I would otherwise. And also just to be happy, because I prefer what I actually do when I do this sort of
happiness
stuff.
over everything.
Oh, so we're here, Aysha. This is Footscray. Like, Footscray has my heart, and I think it's because so I grew up in Caulfield, as you know. And like I attended like a youth church, an Ethiopian youth church in Footscray or near here in Braybrook my whole life.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important for me because it was my opportunity to come back and connect with my community, like my Ethiopian community, my African community, and to also feel like I could exist in spaces that were like very multicultural, because I guess Caulfield wasn't so much, you know what I mean?
It's Caulfield.
Yeah, exactly. So like Footscray has my heart because not only is the food amazing here, like I would get my hair done here, I would bump into the aunties, the family friends here, and like, yeah, and even fast forward to today, like you have different, like you have Western Edge Youth Arts where I did like acting in Footscray. You have the Footscray Community Arts Centre where I've attended and supported a lot of events. And you know, like, okay, on a fashion thing, like I always start with my hair. So like when I'm trying to figure out what I want to wear, I'll always start with what
hairstyle.
Exactly. Because like if I've got cornrows, that will really influence like everything what I wear, and then versus maybe like faux locks like I've got right now. But Footscray is where I always have to check in with because I always need to buy my hair. Like I always need to get my whether it be like going in there to, you know, get a wash, a treatment, blow dry, or just going in to literally buy like my hair to like then go and do with my hair lady. Cynthia, shout out to you. You're the
Cynthia.
Best hair stylist, hair braider I know. So this is like my process. Like I'll come to like Footscray and also the coffee shops around here, the Ethiopian food stores are good. I mean, I'm a bit picky with Ethiopian food because once you are used to like the home cooking standard, sometimes like the restaurant standard just doesn't fully hit the same. But this strip here, which is like Nicholson Street, has a shop called SM Cosmetics, and over the years, like there've been different hair shops that I've used, whether it be to buy my hair or get my hair done. But like I would say over the last several years, SM Cosmetics has held it down. And yeah, shout out Salem and shout out just like the whole team in there because they're so sweet. Like you walk in, they're so welcoming. It's just down this strip over there. And you know, there's like a cafe over there called Maples Cafe. There's like Danny's Cafe, which is an Ethiopian man around there. He gives you like your proper, authentic bunna, like Ethiopian coffee.
Is that what it's called?
Bunna. Yeah. Ooh, there you go. You got one word. Yeah.
Come on, educate me.
So yeah, and then I also just have so many friends based in the West. So I guess like if I'm ever like visiting friends, then I'll probably just come to Footscray to eat or to meet other people. All right, we're here. Should we jump out?
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get it. So I bought some hair extensions. I know I'm going to use this at some point, summer soon. Probably some box braids, I don't know, maybe some cornrows. I don't know. I know, we'll see. I just like to experiment, you know. Oh my goodness. Trust us. Dude, this is why I love Footscray. It's just so unfiltered.
It is, isn't it?
It's such an unfiltered place. Like, I like to go to places where you can just, you know, I don't like just like I like people. I want to see all sorts of people.
Yeah.
And just
from all over, right?
Yeah, just in different places in their lives, and it's just clear to see.
This is the spot.
Yeah, no,
everyone's here.
I'm so happy with my hair as well. I feel like I want to do a box braid look with this next, or cornrows, because I never get sick of cornrows.
You do. Cornrows do look really good.
Yeah, I like it. Just got to be careful with my hairline.
So we're back. We're back into it. I want to know what does Lydia Tesema have coming up next?
You're so sweet. I love the way you say my name.
I will always say your full name. Always.
Let's go. You know, funny thing about my name, my last name in my language means was heard.
Was heard?
Yeah, was listened to, like Tesema.
Oh, it's the verb in the name.
That. Yeah,
it is in the name.
It's so interesting, especially because Solly's a singer.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Rachel even though she's a marketer, so you'll hear her. She's in advertising. But anyways, what's coming up for me? I've got 2 panel talks for Ego Expo next week.
Amazing.
Which I'm super excited about. The topics are cracking into the industry, or breaking into the industry, and also finding your business feet as a creative entrepreneur. So I'm really just hoping to draw out from like the panelists, like their different entry points into like how they got into the industry. Just to show people that it's so different for everyone, you know what I mean? And there isn't a linear path into the industry. And then also with the finding your business feed, I need to talk to the freelancers. We need to talk about the not so glamorous sides of freelancing and how people actually navigate it and work with it.
Because they don't teach us that.
They don't teach us.
It's just very much self-taught.
Yeah.
Or like if you have a mentor, they teach you. But
exactly, which is something I actually really, I feel like people need to get onto, like get a mentor. But I'm also doing Melbourne Fashion Week with TikTok. Which is really exciting.
TikTok!
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really excited about this. It's an experiment, but I'm doing like Vox Pop stuff for them, like walking around and talking to people.
Interviewing on the spot.
Yeah, interviewing on the flow. I'm going to be doing that, and then this one's a little bit of a secret.
Oh, do we get an exclusive?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. You know Noah DaCosta.
Noah DaCosta.
Co-MC.
Yes.
Often co-MC, your fave duo. He and I were just like, you know what? We don't necessarily, like he has Born and Bred, I have Below the Surface, but we do a lot of like hosting and facilitating.
You do, together.
Yeah, and we're just like, we should have a live podcast show, like a live show, essentially.
Yes.
Come together, curate a whole event, and then have a conversation in front of people because, you know, you don't have to be like 50 podcast episodes in deep to justify a live show.
No.
So, sort of thing.
No.
We're just like, I feel like it would be cool to reflect on our year and our journey so far. And so like, that's hopefully happening at the end of the year. So
I'll be there.
Point. Yeah.
That's so exciting. And will it be like Born and Surface or like Below the Bread?
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Oh my god.
Is it like going to be
Below
like
the Bread?
Below the Bread or
so
like
funny.
Born on...
Aysha,
you know what I'm saying?
I didn't think
it's right, you
that.
can have that one for free.
You know what? We're going to just do more like a Noah DaCosta and Lydia Tesema live show.
Okay, got you.
But somehow we definitely want to weave in Below the Surface and Born and Bred.
Yep.
And whether that's more about speaking on our vision and how we intend on growing it moving forward, because we haven't done a whole lot for it this year. But you'll see us. You'll see us do more. It's just... We actually have people who recognize us now and really recognize what we're doing, which is sometimes a hard thing to process because it's just like, I'm just a gal from Caulfield.
You're just like, I'm just a shy girl.
For my hair. Oh, I'm definitely not shy. But yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
But is that all the most exciting things coming
up for me? Yeah. I'm going to be releasing a whole bunch of content for Below the Surface.
The ones that we did in February.
And then also Promised Land stuff. I'll also be, you know, like on YouTube officially. Yes. Proper. For Below the Surface and Spotify. And I feel like, I'm now sort of bringing it all together and like really diving into building my platform. I think...
You've done all the content, you've done all the groundwork. You're ready to just like package it up,
I'm ready to package it up because I feel like I've really spent time connecting, experimenting with my craft. You know, doing different jobs that aren't necessarily my vision initially. But now I'm ready to like conceptualize and like execute my own projects and like also just be consistent on my platform. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still giving myself grace because I've said this before and it didn't happen.
But that's okay. That's the beauty of it. You can just keep leaking it. Keep it going.
Literally.
Big things coming.
Yeah.
When?
One way or another, big things coming.
Big things are coming. When? Not sure, but it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Oh, this is me, Aysha.
Yes.
All right, I gotta go to the youth center today. Got some work to do.
Always.
Running the music program as well today. Rising High. I love the youth center. I'm keen. They energize me. Yay. The young peeps. But yeah, girl, love you a long time.
Thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate this.
Love you. Refueling chat.
Yeah.
Honestly. I'm really excited to see everything you get up to.
Thanks, sis.
I'll probably be at most of them. Most of those events.
If you're not in Brisbane or around the world,
if I'm in Melbourne, girl, I will be there. You know I will be.
I also see you, so keep it up, sis.
Love you,
Speak
sis.
soon. Love you too. Bye-bye.